you, Chair. Chair, we are here following your invitation to us to discuss the petition on the funding of the collective bargaining agreement for employees of the public universities and colleges of Kenya. The bargaining collective bargaining agreement for 2017, 2021, and 2025, 2029. We note, Chair, that the petition raised that the National Assembly urgently allocates funds for the full implementation of the 2017-2021 collective bargaining agreement, totaling 7.9 billion, and to urgently allocate funds for the implementation of the 2025-2029 collective bargaining agreement, which is not yet done. Chair, we are grateful to the committee for inviting all of us to this meeting, especially now that we are trying to find a solution to the ongoing industrial action by the university staff. Chair, the team from the Interpublic Universities Council's Consultative Forum, led by Professor Daniel Mugendi and Professor Simiu Barasa, will make a detailed presentation on the subject matter in response to the petition. However, I just wish to give a general context as follows. Chair, the 2017-2021 CBAs were signed on the 28th of October 2019. The government disbursed a total of 8.8 billion towards that CBA between the financial years 2020-2021 and financial year 2021-2022 to facilitate the implementation across the 38 universities that were in existence then and constituent colleges. At the time of commencing the current industrial action, the unions asserted that the sum outstanding under the 2017-2021 CBA was Kenya shillings 7.9 billion, while SRC advised the ministry that the balance was 624 on the basis that part of the 7.9 billion had been paid to the staff through their normal annual increment. Chair, due to these divergent positions and the Secretary Wasu has taken us through the steps that we've gone through, it was deemed necessary to undertake an objective verification exercise through a comprehensive review of the payroll data of all the public universities, and in this exercise, SRC took a leading role. There, a joint verification exercise was conducted by SRC and IPUCCF between 18th and 21st of October 2025, and the verified confirmed balance was 7.9 billion. Out of this figure, Chair, the sum of 200 million had already been released by the universities to the universities and is held by them after the payment of the 8.8 billion, leaving a balance currently of 7.76 billion. Following this verification, Chair, we offered to pay the verified balance in 3 installments of 2.1 billion in the first installment and 2.8 billion in each of the last 2 installments, totaling 7.7 billion. The unions, on the other hand, demanded a one-off payment. We made an offer thereafter to pay this outstanding sum in 2 equal installments.
Orders, yes. We are trying to follow you up. And you are using a different document from the IPCCUF?
Yes, I'm just making a global presentation.
Your own brief.
My own brief, and then the
detailed. After that particular brief, you will table that document will be part of our proceedings.
Yes, Chair.
That's okay.
Right. So I'm saying after the initial rejection of the 3-phased payment installment, we made a proposal that we paid in 2 installments of 50% each, which was rejected by unions as well. Their position is still that this 7.9 billion has to be paid in a one-off. Despite our arguments that this money has not been budgeted for, having come to the attention of the ministry after the budget cycle of 2026 had been completed on the 28th of March. Chair, that is the current position. We are ready to continue engaging with the unions to achieve a speedy and amicable resolution of the industrial action and to ensure that the operations of our universities return to normal. We are open to the good faith and candid negotiations, and that's why we were keen on the verification of the actual balance, because there was a divergent view of what was outstanding. Chair, now that the amount is not in dispute, what we need to agree on is the payment arrangements, given that this is a significant amount that had not been budgeted for. Chair, on the issue of the 2025-2029 CBA between the unions and IPU-CCF, SRC has issued negotiating beacons, which I think the Secretary General has referred to guide the negotiations. And there has been an appeal on the opening of that space to allow for further negotiations so that they can come to an agreed position. And at this juncture, I wish to invite our team from the IPU-CCF to make the presentation on the 2017-2021 CBA, as well as the status of the negotiations of the 2025-2029 CBA. Professor.
Professor, I'm seeing the CS has taken around 6 minutes. You'll use 14 minutes. Yes. If you can use less, it will be good.
Yes, Honorable Chair, I'm likely to use less.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair and Honorable members. IPCF appreciates this opportunity to engage with the committee on a matter of national significance, which directly affects industrial harmony, fiscal sustainability, and the continuity of learning and research in our public universities. With regard to the funding of 2017-2021 collective bargaining agreements, IPCF would respond and state as follows. Number one, that following the signing of the 2017-2021 CBAs on 28th of October 2019, the government disbursed 8.8 billion between financial years 2020-2021 and financial year 2021-2022 to facilitate implementation across the 38 public universities and constituent university colleges that benefited from the said CBAs. Chair, during the subsequent technical engagements, IPU-CCF and the three trade unions, that is WASU, KUSU, and GUDHEA workers, jointly determined that full implementation of the said CBA would require 16.57 billion, inclusive of the employer pension component. A joint verification exercise coordinated by the Ministry of Education was conducted by SRC and IPU-CCF between 18th and 21st of October 2025. The exercise confirmed a reconciled and verified outstanding balance of Kenya shillings 7.944 billion as the amount required to fully implement the CBA 2017-2021. Subsequently, the Joint Negotiations Committee, comprising IPU-CCF and the three trade unions, formally adopted the said amount at a meeting held on 24th October 2025 at Machakos University. Consequently, Chair, there is no dispute on the balance of 7.944 billion required to fully settle the 2017-2021 CBAs. It is notable that during the meeting of 24th October 2025, IPU-CCF invited the three unions not only to deliberate and agree on the outstanding amount for full implementation of the 2017-21 CBAs, but also to agree on two other things. One, the payment plan for outstanding arrears arising from the 2017-2021 CBAs, and number two, a return to work formula for WASU and KUSU to ensure that normalcy would return to the public university sector. In the said meeting, IPU-CCF, having consulted with the parent Ministry of Education, proposed to the trade unions that the outstanding arrears be paid installments. However, the trade unions insisted on immediate one-off payment for the 2017-2021 CBA arrears. Further, the two trade unions, WASU and KUSU, declined to call off the industrial action. They were categorical that they will only call off the strike or resume work when two conditions are fulfilled. That is, one, the outstanding arrears of 2017-2021 CBA are fully settled, and two, the 2025-2029 CBA is negotiated, signed, registered, and implemented. Honorable Chair, the matter of funding has since been referred to the relevant government organs for consideration of appropriate funding modalities and for administrative and budgetary review. Therefore, Chair, just to emphasize that there is no more a dispute between the unions and IPUCCF. All that is required is for payment of the agreed amounts. With regard to the status of 2025-2029 collective bargaining agreement, IPUCCF would like to state that each of the three trade unions submitted their CBA proposals for 2025-2029, which were duly acknowledged by IPUCCF, as we have already illustrated in the table and the figures. We received WASU proposal on 3rd February 2025, KUSU proposal on 13th February 2025, and their workers on 27th February 2025, and we duly acknowledge them. In accordance with the SRC guidelines, Honorable Chair, on collective bargaining agreements, IPUCF is required to submit to SRC the documents that we have received together with our recommendations. And therefore, we submitted to SRC these documents on 10th of June 2025. And what we submitted to SRC were individual union demand proposals and also the consolidated recommendations by IPUCCF on what we were proposing to offer the unions. The SRC, Honorable Chair, responded via its letter dated 25th of September 2025, and that provided the negotiation parameters, or what is commonly called beacons, and a further guidance of the letter further guidance was provided by SRC letter dated 6th of October. Honorable Chair, I would like this Honorable House to note that between the time we received our proposals and what we submitted to SRC, there was a lull because of absence of the commissioners. Here, having received the responses of the unions to our counter proposal, IPUCF has analyzed the advisories received from SRC and have subsequently prepared counter offers, which it prepared counter offers which were tabled before the respective unions between February 10th and Friday 10th, Saturday 11th, and Sunday 12th of October. Honorable Chair, IPCF received responses and appeals from the three trade unions on the dates as indicated. Subsequent to receiving the appeals of the trade unions, IPUCF has analyzed these responses, and IPUCF has developed appropriate counter responses to the unions, and IPUCF is currently undertaking the process of consultations with the relevant government and constitutional organs, subsequent to which, Honorable Chair, the final phase of the ongoing negotiations with the trade unions will be concluded. IPUCF continues to act swiftly and strictly within the guidelines given by SRC and in consultation with the relevant government agencies. And IPUCF Chair will continue to work collaboratively with all relevant stakeholders to ensure lawful, transparent, and sustainable implementation. Here, we have made a small reflection on litigation proceedings in relation to the 2017-2021 CBS and 2025-2029 CBS. Upon commencement of the industrial action by the three trade unions, IPUCF proceeded to court. Subsequently, the court issued orders interdicting the strike on 17th and 18th September 2025 for Kudeha workers and the Wasu and Kusu respectively. The said orders were further extended on 15th of October 2025 for the matters of Wasu and Kusu, and we have provided an annexure of those orders. The orders of the Employment and Labor Relations Court also directed the parties to a conciliation process under the auspices of the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection, as our partners have mentioned. The conciliation meeting took place on 24th of September 2025, and the report of the conciliator dated 30th September 2025 was subsequently filed in court, and we have provided Annexure 3 of the same. The Employment and Labor Relations Court has, in the intervening period, indicated that in the absence of any consent agreement between IPUCF and the two trade unions of Wasu and the Kusu, a ruling has been set down for 11th of December 2025. However, Honorable Chair, it is important to note that Kudeha workers had suspended their industrial action on 19 September 2025 after the Industrial Labor Relations Court interdicted their industrial action on 17th of September 2025. And thereafter, the dispute was amicably settled through a consent adopted dated 15th October as the judgment of the court on 22nd October 2025, and we have presented an annexure. Honorable Chair, the IPUCF prays and implores this committee on three things. These are our prayers. Number one, we implore the committee to take cognizance of the ongoing strike, which continues to disrupt teaching, learning, and research across the public universities, and to support all efforts aimed at restoring industrial harmony. Our second prayer, Chair, is that we implore this honorable committee to support the Ministry of Education, the National Treasury and Economic Planning, and SRC in providing the requisite budgetary allocation so that we can dispose of the issues at hand. And the third and final prayer to this honorable committee, Chair, we implore the committee to take note of the court orders issued by the Industrial Labor Relations Court, as well as the inordinate suffering that the disruption of teaching and learning has continued to inflict on public university students, and implore Wasu and Kusu to call off the ongoing industrial action to allow the resumption of normal university operations in the public interest. I submit, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Professor Barasa. I think you have used actually less minutes.